You know that feeling, right? The alarm goes off. You've supposedly slept for a full 8 hours, but you feel like you could sleep for another 8. It's this super frustrating mystery that so many of us face every single day. Well, guess what? Today, we're going to play detective. We're going to follow the clues deep inside our own biology and finally crack the case of why we wake up so tired. I mean, seriously, does this sound familiar? You do everything you're supposed to do. You go to bed on time, you get your 7, 8, maybe even 9 hours of sleep, but you still wake up feeling just blah, groggy, slow, totally drained. If that's you, trust me, you are in very, very good company. So that feeling, that grogginess, it actually has a scientific name. It's called sleep inertia. And it's basically this buffer period where your brain is playing catch up with the fact that you're awake now. And this is real. Research shows it can take anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes for your brain to fully get back online. So no, it's not just you being not a morning person, it's a measurable biological state. Okay, let's get into our investigation. And like any good detective story, we're going to start by rounding up the usual suspects. All those lifestyle habits that usually take the blame for our morning misery. You know these guys. We've all heard this list a million times, right? The blue light from our phones, that late night cup of coffee or glass of wine, a wacky sleep schedule. And yeah, don't get me wrong, all this stuff absolutely matters. But here's the thing. These are usually just the accomplices. The real mastermind behind why you feel tired all the time is operating on a much, much deeper level. And here's where our investigation takes a really interesting turn. Because the biggest clue isn't about what's making us sleepy, it's about what's supposed to be making us feel awake. We need to look at this incredibly powerful hormone that's literally designed to launch us into the day.
Let me introduce you to the cortisol awakening response, or CAR for short. Now, I know what you're thinking. Cortisol? Isn't that the stress hormone? And yeah, it is. But in the morning, cortisol is your absolute best friend. It's this healthy, natural surge. We're talking a 50% jump that happens right when you wake up. Its whole job is to slam the brakes on sleep inertia and get you ready for the day. So a weak CAR means a weak, groggy start to your morning. Simple as that.
The best way to think about it is like a slingshot. It's such a cool analogy. All night long, as your cortisol levels get lower and lower, it's like that slingshot band is being pulled back, getting tighter and tighter. Then, right before you wake up, your brain takes aim, and then release. The second that morning light hits your eyes, it triggers this flood of cortisol that just catapults you into alertness. If that slingshot misfires, you're stuck in that groggy, foggy morning state.
So we have our hormonal clue, this cortisol slingshot. But what's aiming it? What's pulling the trigger? Who is the true mastermind behind this whole operation? Well, it turns out it's not just one thing. It's actually two fundamental forces that are constantly at work inside your brain.
It all boils down to what's called the two-process model of sleep. So, on one side, you've got process S. Think of this as your sleep pressure. It's like a meter that fills up with sleepiness every single moment you're awake. But on the other side, you've got process C, which is your circadian clock. This is your internal 24-hour pacemaker, and its job is to fight back against that sleep pressure all day long to keep you awake and functional. And check this out. You can actually see how these two processes work together. See that line H that's just going up and up all day? That's your sleep pressure building. And that wavy line C, that's your circadian clock sending out signals to keep you alert. You finally feel that overwhelming need to sleep right at that moment where the sleep pressure becomes stronger than the alerting signal. It's not random at all. It's a perfectly timed collision of these two incredible forces.
So really what's happening inside you every single day is this biological tug-of-war. And waking up tired, that is a giant red flag that the two sides are out of sync. Your sleep pressure might have dropped overnight, but if your circadian clock isn't ready to win that tug-of-war and trigger that powerful cortisol slingshot, you get left in that frustrating, half-awake, groggy state.
Okay. We've gathered all the clues. We have our usual suspects, we have our key hormonal process, the slingshot, and we have the two masterminds in the brain. Now it is time to put it all together and finally crack this case.
And the solution, it turns out, isn't some magic pill or some complicated productivity hack. It's actually much simpler and, honestly, much more profound. It's about aligning your daily habits with your body's deep natural programming. It means making choices that support your circadian clock and enable a powerful cortisol response instead of constantly fighting against them.
So here it is, your simple three-step action plan. Number 1, wake up at the same time every single day, yes, even on weekends. This is what anchors your circadian clock. Number 2, Get direct sunlight in your eyes as soon as you can. This is the literal trigger that releases your cortisol slingshot. And number 3, hydrate. A big glass of water is a simple signal to your body and brain that, hey, the day has officially begun. Because at the end of the day, waking up feeling refreshed and energized isn't about luck, and it's not about one single trick. It's the natural result of living in sync with these incredible biological systems that are already built inside of you, ready to help you thrive. So, the mystery is solved. You know about sleep inertia, you know about the cortisol slingshot, and you know about the biological tug-of-war happening inside you. So the real question, the one on the screen, is for you. Now that you know the science, what's the one thing you'll change to have a better morning tomorrow?